Didn't chime in on this before, but I want to chime in just because it's gaming. Reason being because I've called this a fake job before. You've seen my public posts, and I've said, dude, if you work or your business or your job title says something along the lines of diversity, inclusion, what they call it DIE, right? Diversity, inclusion, and equity. You have a fake job. It is a job that does not have a true demand. In the sense that when I say true demand, I'm not saying there aren't people asking for it. I'm saying true demand as in the actual marketplace has not found a place for this to be a thing. It's artificial, right? In its actuality. Mega corporate entities have now implemented these diversity programs within it and all that. And really all it is about meeting quotas and shit, right? And what the company looks at it like, this keeps the deranged social justice leftist off of my back because we have efforts to make sure that their demands are met. That's it. Their demands are met, but not this isn't something like the actual market found a need for these people and they're filling a hole that the marketplace dictated was necessary. It's simply not the case. It is artificial. Activision Blizzard, who's been in their trouble, and this is their way of trying to say, squirrel! Or maybe not that. Look at us. We're fixing our problems and allegations it is that we've had. They have a new chief diversity, equity, and inclusion officer. Kristen Hines will be joining Activision Blizzard. And her already, from April 25th, so starting April 25th, and already has her sights set on increasing the number of women and non-binary employees by 50%. In an official statement, this is what this person said. I'm excited to join a company that is prioritizing commitment to diversity, equity, and inclusion and making progress on the ambitious goals it has set for itself. In an industry with historical underrepresentation, I'm looking forward to leading the company's effort to further build a workplace that values transparency, equity, and inclusivity. I want to reiterate this because a lot of folks have not watched my videos where I talked about this. Representation is one of the dumbest fucking things that have ever been advocated. Ever. And by that, I mean it is dangerous, number one. But what it assumes is that every individual is a fucking robot. They might look different, but they're a robot with the same thoughts, same desires, same expectations, and they're the same. They just look different, right? That would be the only time where representation actually existing or lack thereof would mean that something funky is going on. That's the only thing, right? So when they look at what happens is that these departments look at a percentage and they say, or makeup is what it is. And they'll say, hey, there's X percentage of people that are overrepresented, over and under. And all that means is that they feel that more people that look different ways, even if, it doesn't even make sense for them to be in the positions, they want them there for the sake of a quota. It's criminal. I've said this before. Makeup of demographics oftentimes are voluntarily arrived. And just because there's a makeup that has a majority or a minority does not mean something evil is being done to, let's say, keep them out. Nor does it mean if you decide to artificially put people in positions that are not of merit, right? They're not in a clean slate competing, because that's not what you're advocating, right? If you are advocating, okay, it doesn't matter. Our efforts are, if you can perform the job, you prove that you can perform the job to its best of its ability, you are the best candidate, then we're going to hire you. For just strictly performance stuff. We're not talking about acting. We're talking strictly performance-based stuff, right? That's not what it is that they would say. That's what a person that actually gave a damn about fairness would do. That's not what they're doing. Instead, they say, well, this is the makeup. We need 50% of this, X percentage of that, X percentage of that. Because reasons. Even if, let's say, you have this demo, it's like having a swim facility, right? A swim facility. Well, let's say you train fucking swimmers in fucking Utah or some shit. And because, number one, it ain't like just a million black people walking around, and like when I say a million, I mean like, let's just say all the black people ain't in Utah, okay? And you have a swim facility in Utah. So you're going with a sport that is largely dominated by white people in America. You have in a state or in an area that a lot of black people are not there. And just because, let's say, there's a majority white population of like your trainers, the people that are like actually going out there and swimming and all of that, you're saying that something is wrong with that when it's not. It was voluntarily arrived. And this is why representation is a stupid thing. The fact that this shit has impacted gaming so much. And then we know why Activision Blizzard, because of all the dumb shit they've had on the side. It's such a nonsensical thing to focus on. And you wonder why products are going to get worse. It's not because, it is because products a lot of folks don't care to make solid products. But going into detail with that, if you're hiring people and it's not based upon merit, what do you expect to get? Things that are not as good as what they could have been if you just had an open call out. Like I've said, representation is one of the dumbest fucking things to exist in a or representation or its advocacy, where people think that there's something worth striving for. Like that alone means something. You can decide if something good or bad is happening based upon the makeup of the demographic is nonsense. It's complete and utter nonsense. Yet so many people advocate that dumb shit. Well, a lot of it's because they are so agenda based. They're delusional, where they think all races and different sexualities are they have the same interest and all of that, same skill sets and all of that. They think that all the makeup is equal in that sense when it's not, objectively speaking. They're in a delusional world where they think that's the case, or they're just simply obsessed with social justice. And these are the people that I'd advise to stay the fuck away from. And if you are a business owner, small business, keep these fuckers away from your shit. You just listened to a clip from my podcast, For Canon's Sake, which is live throughout the week at 12 p.m. Central on youtube.com/YoungRipper59 and odyssey.com/@YoungRipper59. Be sure to check out my website, ericdjuly.com, so you can stay up to date with everything it is that I'm doing. You can also become a member and get access to a bunch of cool perks and exclusive content, which includes a social media hub where you can interact with myself and other members. It even has an app that you can get, which is now live in the Google and Apple stores.